Miracles Aboagye is already traumatized because of the flood. The director of communications of our party, Miracles Aboagye, was arrested and detained by EOCO at the airport. He has been in custody for over 3 days. We are not against accountability. We are against the Rambo star, detained for over 3 days. And now they are demanding properties worth 55 million cedis before he's granted bail. You detain him for 3 days and you say if he wants his freedom, he should bring properties worth 50 million cedis. How do you do this? The issue before this house, which I am raising, is that we have not heard the government making a declaration with respect to what has happened to those who lost their property and those who lost their lives. And I am calling on leader of government business to brief this house on steps being taken. I'm not making an allegation. I'm using language, attention to be paid to language, that he should brief this house on what steps government is taking, Mr. Speaker. In other disasters, we heard of national mourning, 3 days of national mourning. Nothing has been said, and that is what I want the minister to brief this house on. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the contingency fund, the chief whip himself is saying that we gave approval for withdrawal to be made from the contingency fund under Article 177. Mr. Speaker, in this house, we have been told that indeed, because the account was garnished, government withdrew the money from other sources. Again, may I call on the majority leader to program the Minister of Finance to come and brief this house which government accounts they withdrew them funds from. And two, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice should come and brief this house which entity, which party, which agency, which institution, which individual garnished government account. The full dossier must be furnished this house. It's very important because, Mr. Speaker, to garnish a contingency account of the state, it's very serious. The Attorney General must fully brief this house how the AG was involved and how come, and indeed whether or not they have appealed the decision and what is the status of that account. Mr. Speaker, the next point I want the minister, the leader of government business to brief this house has to do with, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Agric. Mr. Speaker, may I plead with the leader of government business to program the Minister of Agric to come and brief the house on the status of the Nkukon Kitinkiti initiative. Mr. Speaker, the minister is on record to have said that the beneficiaries have consumed the beds. Mr. Speaker, we want clarity as a house because, Mr. Speaker, this was supposed to be an entrepreneurial venture where they are supposed to pay back. May we know the status of it, Mr. Speaker. And finally, Mr. Speaker, finally, yes, this one. Mr. Speaker, finally, can the Minister of Justice and Attorney General be programmed, Mr. Speaker, urgently to come and brief this house on the activities of EOCO? Mr. Speaker, we are a house with oversight responsibility. Mr. Speaker, there are things that are happening. If we don't talk about it today, tomorrow, the other side may be wearing the shoe. Mr. Speaker, the director of communications of our party, Miracles Aboagye, was arrested and detained by EOCO at the airport. Mr. Speaker, he has been in custody for over 3 days. We are not against accountability. We are against the Rambo star. Mr. Speaker, our colleagues should not be up in arms It can be them tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, what is happening to Miracle Aboagye is not good for our democracy. The Attorney General should come to this house and brief us of the situation. The EOCO will arrest people if the person was in the country, has traveled, he's coming, then in a Rambo style, he's arrested. Mr. Speaker, at the airport, detained for over 3 days. Mr. Speaker, and now they are demanding properties worth 55 million cedis before he's granted bail. Let's be careful, my dear political colleagues. Let's be careful, Ghanaian political leaders. It can be somebody today. There is an election ahead. You can never tell. Don't let us encourage some of these excesses. And when we talk about it, don't look at it with a partisan lens. It can be you. Today, we hear what is happening at Gold Board. There are all manner of allegations at Gold Board. We know all manner of allegations in various state institutions. You are also in charge of the coffers. You are in charge of the press. Be careful. Don't ask somebody. He has a wife and children. Already the man was affected by the flood. He lost everything. He's already traumatized. Miracle Aboagye is already traumatized because of the flood. Then to worsen it, you detain him for 3 days and you say if he wants his freedom, he should bring properties worth 50 million cedis. How do you do this? And this is not something that must attract a partisan reaction. It is a human rights issue. The Attorney General must come to this house and brief us on what is happening. Mr. Speaker, it's not good for the politics of our country. Some of my colleagues here, Mr. Speaker, sometimes when they speak on critical issues, they get invitation to EOCO, to BNI, and all of that. We've kept quiet about it. Now it has gotten to our party executives. We shouldn't do this to ourselves. Mr. Speaker, we shouldn't do this to ourselves. EOCO can investigate.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, let me conclude on it.
Please conclude.
I'm concluding on it. Mr. Speaker, EOCO can investigate. EOCO can do its work with a human face. An invitation to Miracle Aboagye to appear before EOCO would have solved everything. In any event, the man was already attending upon them. Anytime they invited him, he was there. Why the Rambo star? Our friends opposition should not be happy. Because, you see, Mr. Speaker, not long ago, I was there. And some of them, when they cried upon some of us, we listened and we stopped some excesses.
Honorable Minority
so we'll
Leader,
keep quiet.
Please land safely.
Mr. Speaker, I'm landing. Miracles Aboagye deserve justice. The country must not shut its eyes on the excesses by EOCO. And Majority Leader, please program the Attorney General to come before this house and address us on what is happening at EOCO. The human rights abuses, we will not take it as a house.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker.
I call on Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Habib, please resume your seat. Why?
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I believe you've given me the opportunity to speak in my standing as a member of this house. You didn't give me the opportunity, I believe, to respond to the matters arising from the business statement, because my comment too is contingent on matters arising from the business statement, attracting comments from the Minority Leader. Mr. Speaker, the Minority Leader is on his feet. suggesting that the Attorney General should be invited to respond to queries from him regarding the performance of functions of his office or agencies under him. Speaker, the particular matter that he has referenced, perhaps he hasn't read. And so let me reference the formal response from EOCO. Because you see, we are members of a community of reading men, and I want him to read. Mr. Speaker, the EOCO, please. Mr. Speaker, EOCO had this to say. Mr. Speaker, on 13th July, Mr. Speaker, EOCO released the following statement. Mr. Speaker, arrest of Dennis Aboagye, aka Miracles, and Gerard Appiah in respect of Ghana Cedis 55 million investigations into the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization. Mr. Speaker, EOCO and Organized Crime Office wishes to inform the general public that it has arrested former Executive Secretary of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization. Mr. Speaker, EOCO says that the Economic and Organized Crime Office wishes to inform the general public that it has arrested Mr. Dennis Edward Aboagye, former Executive Secretary of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, in connection with ongoing, Mr. Speaker, ongoing investigations into alleged financial and procurement-related irregularities at the Secretariat. Speaker, the EOCO proceeded to further say that the arrest follows extensive investigations commenced by EOCO after receiving a petition from the current Executive Secretary of IMCCOD requesting further investigations into a forensic audit conducted into the affairs of the Secretariat covering the period from 1st August 2022 to 2nd February 2025. Mr. Speaker, the charges that Miracles Aboagye and Gerard Appiah faces include conspiracy to steal and stealing, using public office for profit, causing financial loss to the state, dissipation of public funds, defrauding by false pretenses, and money laundering. So, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader has no right under the sun to suggest that where an investigative body has conducted a year-long investigation into a matter, has invited the suspects, and now has made a prima facie determination and is effecting arrest that may possibly lead to prosecution, the minority leader is on this floor saying that we should invite the Attorney General to come and respond to what? That we must not demand accountability from public office holders. Is it not the same man who stands on this floor and cautioning us that we as politicians we should be careful, and that it is the public servants who do all the things that we get blamed? And today when the public servant is getting blamed, you are saying that he shouldn't be blamed. So by all means we can do politics, but some of the things, Mr. Speaker, it must not be countenanced on this floor. It must not. Now, in respect of bail, nobody is saying that he should bring property worth 55 million Ghana cedis. Yes, 55 million Ghana cedis. They are saying that for somebody to stand surety to assure the body and perhaps the court that you appear and defend yourself in the matter, the person should be able to establish that he has property value to the amount of the subject of the charges. So it's not about bringing a property and all that. He knows that. Supposed to be carried to EOCO. He shouldn't put out these mischievous lines. And so he's a lawyer, he's my classmate, and we practice together, we still practice. He should rather advise that the property be done. And if you think that the terms as offered for the bill are onerous, Mr. Speaker, like you have taught us, he knows that you can always go back and beat it down. So he shouldn't stand here and rather aggravate the situation of the suspect. It is not fair. It is not fair at all.
Mr. Speaker, I think that the majority chief whip has every right to respond to me if that is his pleasure. But in so doing, much as he himself always admonish others on language use, he has to be measured. You cannot question somebody merely because you disagree with him and you say he has not read. Mr. Speaker, I take serious exception to that statement from him. Mr. Speaker, in the list, Mr. Speaker, in the list, I'm a senior in this house. In the list, I'm a senior in this house. And our practice and conventions and the values of this house require that you extend courtesy to your senior. Mr. Speaker, is the reason why we accord you every respect, because you are the presiding officer. When you say we should resume our seat, we are obliged to resume, even where we disagree with you. Mr. Speaker, those offensive words, I know he's a gentleman. If he's minded, he should withdraw them. If he's minded, I have never hesitated. I have never hesitated. Any day when I am required to withdraw, I do so. Mr. Speaker, the issue I raised, the burden of my submission, had to do with the excesses of EOCO's actions.
Permit me to crave his indulgence to respond to your demand that I should withdraw the word he doesn't read.
Speaker, I have due regard for my leader. I withdraw the word community of reading men. I withdraw. Mr. Speaker, I further withdraw that he didn't read. So perhaps he read, but he glossed over the conditions given by EOCO for the arrest. So I withdraw that person. And I apologize.
Mr. Speaker, I've accepted it.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I've accepted it graciously.
Yes.
But Mr. Speaker, the point I need to clarify is that the bail condition, he contended that the demand by EOCO does not mean that there should be cash of 50 million. Mr. Speaker, EOCO is demanding 50 million worth of properties from the sureties. You are a lawyer, I am a lawyer. We know what it means where a state investigative agency demands
Honorable Minority
property
Leader,
worth 50 million.
with all due respect, I think we have made your points
Very
clear.
well, Mr. Speaker, thank you.
On
Mr.
this
Speaker, let
note,
me touch the last point.
On this note, the business statement
Very well.
as presented is accordingly adopted.